Hello, happy Monday. Now, if you've gone on the internet and you looked at the news today, you'd find out that IGN posted a little fucking story about PAX. If you don't know what PAX is, there's one on, I guess, on the East Coast and one on the West Coast. It's a convention like any other convention. So you got all the game companies. They take all their new shit that they're trying to push on people and say, hey, look, get excited, get happy, and spend dollars. And that's perfectly fine. You go to a boating show, a gun show, a comic book show, it's all the same. They find the bare minimum space to pack as many motherfuckers in there like sardines, and then they try to get you to buy shit and try shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't have a problem with that. That's fine. The problem is now there's this virus going around, and with 70,000+ cases worldwide, 2,200+ deaths. This isn't the fucking flu. It's already rumored it has possibly been made out of a weapons lab, because you don't put your weapons lab next to the fucking fish market, China. It's like just a lot of common sense shit being thrown out the window. And the Sony decides, hey, we don't want to send people to PAX because there's already been one case, confirmed case, of coronavirus in Boston. It was a guy in his 20s. I believe he was flying from China to Boston, and from the I don't say the district wrong. It's like the Wuhan or Wusun district, wherever the virus is fucking broken out. And China has the largest quarantined city, I guess you would say. It's world record. It's the largest quarantine in the world. All right, there hasn't been any other quarantine quite like it, and it's already fucking failed. There's been, I think, like 300 cases in Japan. Italy is up to like 150 confirmed cases. They've already had 3 deaths. South Korea's just bumped up their defenses. I guess they have a bio agency defense, and they've already just said we're at fucking red light, go for that shit. They're sealing themselves off. Iran, 50 deaths, and some people are saying that there's a possible mutation in Iran, and that's why the death count is popping up so fast. So the Middle East, Europe, the virus pretty much has a foothold, and there's been a couple cases in Canada and definitely here in the U.S. And the mayor of Boston tells Sony, don't be racist against Asians, when Sony is a Japanese company. Marty, you're either a fucking idiot or you're just that out of touch with the company that you're talking about. You obviously don't know what the fuck's going on. The Olympics is supposed to be happening in Japan. It probably shouldn't happen until we get this shit under control, because it's not under control, And the virus spreads by droplets, so coughing, sneezing, And if you've ever been to even a comic book convention here in Tampa, oh my God, like the Orlando one, the MegaCon, you're constantly touching people. It's like being in a nightclub. Your arms are going to brush up against people. And when people aren't like taking showers and wearing the same costume for 3 fucking days, you don't want to be in that, especially when there's a possible outbreak. And now there's people dying in their 30s, which is, most of the cases are like old people, which is normal even for the flu. You have what they call immune compromised. So you have like old people that might have kidney problems, liver problems, some kind of ailment that's affecting their immune system, or they might be predisposed to for ammonia, or not ammonia, pneumonia. Right. pneumonia. Say that shit right. That's how it starts. That's how it always starts out. But now it's, if you're a healthy person in your 30s or even 20s, and there's no symptoms up to 28 days with this virus, and then out of nowhere it fucking like kicks you in the balls and kills you. I think it's a little despicable, and as a mayor who's supposed to be looking out for the people's best interest is more important about making a fucking dollar, and then to somehow jump on to say it's racist. It's racist to not want your employees to fucking die from a possible disease outbreak is fucking stupid. And this is, the world that we're in today, where it's like you can't say anything without being called something or another, even if it's based in some kind of fact or on the side of, having... Let's say there is an outbreak in Boston. Worst case scenario, right? Black Plague numbers. 2/3 of the standing population drops dead. All right? Japan is like the size of New Jersey, maybe a little bit bigger, maybe smaller. It doesn't have a large population, and you're on an island. There's nowhere to fucking go if those people get sick. Islands get infected, and then you're fucked. It's not like here in America where if shit hit the fan, people are always like, well, I'm going to the countryside to go live. You and like millions of other assholes, but you know what? Japan and these small countries, these little island countries, don't get that privilege. They don't get to get up and run for their lives. They have nowhere to go. And for fuck's sake, maybe Sony kind of gives a shit about its employees. It gives a shit more about its employees than the mayor of Boston gives a shit about its people. And the whole thing is like, I don't want to get into the politics of it too much, but how many times do you have to see a white guy say, look, you're being racist, and he's telling minorities about racism? It's like, just stop it. It's fucking ridiculous at this point. We need to get along, and in times of crisis, which this could possibly be a very devastating, time. Think about it. If 2/3 of the people died, like you live in a neighborhood, you look at your neighbors' houses, they're fucking dead. Who's going to go and clean up those bodies? Think about the rats that come later and all the infected animals that, they might not carry, they might just carry basic flus and viruses that are, with dead bodies that come with all the shitty side effects. It might not even be, the coronavirus might just burn out real quick, but it might kill a lot of people. But then you have a whole new list of bullshit that comes with from all the bodies sitting out in the summertime, rotting in these houses. You got to bulldoze all those houses and burn them down or remove the bodies somehow. And after like a week, the body starts to bloat and fucking turn into a mush. You don't scrape that shit off the floor. That ain't fun. But I would urge the mayor of Boston, you need to take this shit more serious. And if you're going to a convention, you probably want to carry a lot of sanitizer and you want to wear a mask. And there's nothing wrong with, if people give you shit, tell them to fuck off. Because it's better to be alive than be fucking dead. I'll tell you that 100%. Everyone knows that. Fucking, it's crazy. And it's like the virus, the Chinese, I guess he was an eye doctor who discovered it and told people about it. They gave him all kinds of antibiotics and shit, and it didn't save his life. And he was like 34. The virus is now showing that it does a lot of damage to the internal organs. And, these old people, they're just going to be the first ones to drop off. And it sucks to say that, but then you're probably going to see like a lot of young infants too if this gets out of hand. So, I don't blame Sony for fucking giving a shit about themselves and not wanting it to bring it back to their homeland. having this virus, show up on your doorstep, you're not getting a fucking PlayStation 5. You're not getting any more Oculus Quests. You kiss the video game culture goodbye, because if there's no one alive to fucking make shit, what's the point? And it's like you just rather make a fucking dollar than give a shit about people's lives. Worry about getting reelected next year or next term, whenever the fuck it happens. It's such a fucking piss poor joke. It's like, oh, don't be racist. How about we be a fucking live? How about we be alive? And yeah, it's going to affect the PlayStation 5 release. It's probably going to affect the cost. Oculus Quest now can't make enough headsets because everyone's making shit in China. And there's a couple big tech companies saying, you know what, we're tired of dealing with China and all their bullshit. They lie about everything. Who knows what the real fucking death count really is? You see pictures of China in the city. The population is large and almost out of control there. That's why they have their weird, one child per house thing and shit. But at the same time, you look on the news and it's broad like daylight, like 2 o'clock, and there's nobody on the streets except for maybe 1 or 2 people. That's not how you want to live. And just to say it's like racist, so fucking stupid. It's going to look real bad if anybody at PAX gets real sick and anything happens, because you could kiss your fucking career goodbye. And that's how it should go. If any cases come down in PAX, it's your fucking fault, Mayor. You said, everyone's going to be safe. Let me tell you, if there's a major outbreak, the mayors, the governors, all those motherfuckers are going to be on planes out of the state. And they're going to fucking leave you behind. And if it got like a horror movie bad with an outbreak, and it's like, oh, Boston's now infected and we can't stop it, you probably see a fucking bomb get dropped on the fucking city. And he won't be there for that. He'll be somewhere safe. Not saying that would probably happen, but worst case scenario if shit really hit the fan. But at that time, it's probably, if they don't give a shit now, it's probably going to spread everywhere. And, they're going to be in a bunker somewhere living a better life than still probably most people today in America. People are upset about the releases of all the games and consoles. Like, put that shit aside. Time now is there's bigger problems. And stop getting upset over fucking video games and all this shit. You should be upset about the fucking mayors and governors and the people in the Senate who don't give a shit about you and are just using you as to get likes on their campaigns and rehires. That's it. That's all that's come down to. That's all politics has come down to. Oh, if you disagree, you're probably some kind of racist or something stupid, even though there's, it's like it was so dumb to say that. We don't want to, talk about stereotypes. No one is. The virus doesn't give a shit what race you are. All it wants to do is get inside your body, infect a cell, and produce more of itself, like every other fucking virus does. Doesn't give a shit what color your skin is. Doesn't give a shit what language you speak. A virus is a simple organism meant to do one thing, that's reproduce. That's all it wants to do. It doesn't give a shit about anything else. Why are you making it a race issue is beyond me. And yeah, there's a lot of people out there, saying racist shit. And like in Ukraine, they actually were setting fires and trying to stop Chinese, Ukrainian citizens with Chinese ancestry or whatever from going home or whatever. Ukraine's always in some shit. And I guess there was some crazy lady in LA on a sub or on a bus yelling at somebody. That shit happens every fucking day. But when the governor, starts doing stupid shit like this, this can affect and put, millions of people's lives in danger. So if you still want to go to these things, still want to go to conventions, go, but wear a mask. For fuck's sake, wear a mask, and, you know, wash your hands a lot. Keep some, was it the Purell shit? The hand sanitizer. Keep that, definitely keep that on hands. You know, if you're gonna cough, you're gonna sneeze, you know, catch it in your armpit. Just don't fucking open mouth it on everybody around you. It's fucking disgusting. Don't be an animal. You know, you take your normal showers. You know, do basic hygiene will probably keep you alive and, you know, keep most people safe. We don't want an outbreak here. It's not fun. And then, you know, one day there's some crazy outbreak and then the power goes out because there's no one there to man the power stations. There's no one there to man the phones. You know, 911, you know, just is a busy signal. Hospitals stop working. None of that shit's fun, because then you start dying from asthma, you start dying from toothaches. People start dying in their 40s, like in medieval times, because there's not basic medicine to keep them fucking alive. So let's cut the head off before it fucking grows into something bad. And, you know, health over the dollar. Seriously. That's all pretty much I have to say about this one. I'll probably do another like podcast next week, see what happens. But yeah, the government isn't going to look out for you. You need to look out for yourself. You know, save some water. Just like here in Florida, we have hurricanes. You know, I never once needed to be rescued. Always have food, canned food. You know, bottled water. Get a couple gallons, enough for at least 30 days, and just keep it somewhere in your house. It's not that expensive to get all that shit. You know, and invest in some masks. You know, maybe a pack of gloves if you have to go out, and if there's like a bad cases in your area. But just keep washing your hands. You know, don't touch your eyes, don't touch your mouth, don't touch your nose. Simple shit like that you shouldn't be doing to begin with. Other than that, be safe, take care, and hopefully we all make it out alive. All right, bye.